Hey guys, what's up? This is Pants Dragon, and as you guys know, roster changes are coming up in TSM, and they're taking out the jungler, Santorin, and now they're holding out tryouts again this year. So it could be my big break to go into the pro scene, and try out for this position. And as you guys know already, I used to make guides for solo mid, so there's like a little association in the background right there. And as long as I don't steal someone's penta again, maybe I'll have a shot this time. But that's probably not likely going to happen. Even if I went for the tryouts and, sent in my resume, I probably won't make it. And I'm just going to be going over some points on why I wouldn't make it, since a lot of you guys ask me why don't I go professional. And so this video will elaborate on that topic. And with all that being said, let's get started. So if you guys have been following me since 2014, then you'd already know that I've actually tried going professional one time. Like I played in the NACL, which is just a little side tournament, while also having played the North American Challenger Series. And if you get top 3 in the North American Challenger Series, you have a shot at getting into LCS. So I was like, what do you call a semi-pro, I guess? But we never ended up getting past the first round. And then our team basically disbanded after this game. So I think you guys understand what kind of experience I had as a player when trying to go professional. And basically after that, I just kind of gave up. I was like, no, this is just a waste of time. Why am I doing this? I should do something else. And yeah, now here I am doing YouTube a year and a half later, and I'm kind of happy with that. I think it was a better choice for me, to be honest. Because after I lost, I literally thought about it. Should I continue going down the path of a pro and trying to make it in LCS? Or should I just continue to try and, grow my YouTube channel? And I thought about the pros and cons to both paths. And if I want to go down the pro path, there's a lot of pros that come with it along with cons. For instance, if I did make it into LCS, that would grow my YouTube channel substantially. I also could have more of a following on Twitch, so I could also potentially be a streamer, as I felt like there was a lot of hype built up for me if I ever did make it into LCS. And also personally, I'd love to be in LCS and play just at least one game as a player, just to feel what the professional experience is like. And there'd also be a lot of traveling since you're going to these riot events, while probably also moving into a gaming house. And essentially, the reward would be super huge if I ever made it into LCS. But I feel it's also very risky if I tried to go for it and I failed to do so. So it's like a higher risk, high reward kind of thing. There's definitely a lot of stress when you're playing these Challenger Series level games, as if you lose, you gotta wait a bit of time before replaying in the Challenger Series for your shot to LCS. Also, scrims might not be going well, so you might just lose hope about getting into the LCS. And so there can be a lot of downtime for it to happen again. And that's why usually teams disband after they lose. There's not much to do in between the downtime. And the worst part about going to pro is you're dedicating a lot of time to this game. Like, I feel like there'd be no time for anything else, and you can easily get burnt out this way by just playing a lot of scrims while also playing a lot of solo queue. And as time goes by, you just kind of get sick of the game, especially if you lost some of the scrims too. That can honestly put you in a bad mood. So stress and commitment is very high. There's also a lot of sketch bags out there. Like the organizer for our team sold our rank 5's team, which is like in Challenger, but he didn't tell anyone he was going to do that, and he just profited himself and removed me off Skype. There's obviously bigger scandals than this, but this is from my personal experience and what I experienced with a small scandal. So you gotta watch out on which people you have in your kind of organization or team, as there's some scammers in this world. And if you also think that Challenger scene is enough to sustain yourself, unless your team or organization has enough to sustain themselves and you, the prize pool is actually really bad, and it's not enough to sustain 5 members plus whoever else they have. So, you can dedicate 40 hours to this game with a fairly low income. I don't actually know what else they get money from, other than maybe sponsors. But the Challenger scene is horrible for just sustaining yourself. So if you're top 8 in the Challenger scene, that's not good enough, and I'd say you're wasting your time. Top 3 is where it's at because they have a chance of getting into the LCS. So if you plan on going pro or whatever, you need a really good roster and you're confident on getting into the LCS. And I actually watched Legends Rising from Riot, and it's a documentary from the pros. And I noticed Faker and Bjergsen got into the pro scene by, just playing the game and just having fun. And then they got noticed by teams since they were really good. But I feel like this gives a false interpretation of how to get into the pro scene and be a professional. It's not the easiest thing to do. You have to remember there's only 50 people in the LCS, and there's a bunch of people who play League of Legends, so only a handful are picked out and get to play professionally. So if anyone actually is planning on going pro, I would definitely not recommend it unless some of the requirements are met. These requirements, in my opinion, are what it takes to be an LCS player, or potentially be. And then like you might have a shot somewhere. So the first statement I want to make is that solo queue does matter. I know on Reddit there's a lot of people saying, solo queue doesn't matter, it doesn't actually represent your skill. Well, it actually does. If you get somewhere really high in Challenger or whatever, it means you have a good sense of the game and your mechanics are probably on par, and it shows that you're a good player. Now, a lot of people assume getting Challenger, that's where the cutoff between amateur and professional is, but no one will look at top 200, they'll be looking at the top 50. Even then, that's a low chance and you're better off looking at the top 10. Like, if you want to pick someone up, you'd probably look at the Challenger bracket, not the Master Tier bracket, or of course people with professional experience. There actually is a pretty noticeable skill gap between Challengers 800 LP plus versus people who are Challenger from 500 LP to 700 LP. Like, they know the objectives to win the game, and obviously they make less mistakes. Second off, make yourself known among the pros. Like, obviously you want to give a good impression of yourself, so when you're around them, don't be cancer, don't be a dickhead, try to befriend them, #networking, and obviously play really good around them. So try to carry a game, try to shit on them when you're against them, and then they'll have a really good opinion of you, and then maybe one day they might suggest something to someone, and you may be picked up for something. So yeah, if you can be known as a really good player, you definitely have potential to be picked up by a team. So yeah, this video was basically to say that going pro isn't as easy as it looks. For me myself, I'd probably have to play so much solo queue, like maybe 1,000 games before I get to like 1,000 LP in like top 10. And of course there might be the chance where I just don't have the potential to do it. So I'd rather go with the consistent YouTube, steadily growing myself instead of the high risk, high reward kind of thing. If I were offered to be an analyst or sub for an LCS team, I'd probably do it, of course. And if there is an upcoming team with a really good roster and I was offered a spot, then maybe I would do it too and climb the Challenger series. But for the most part, I'd rather just work on my YouTube. Like, I don't play as much as I used to. It's a lot more stress-free. I can work on it whenever I want. I'm my own boss, and the best part of it, I'm working in my underwear as we speak. Anyways, thank you guys for watching this video. I hope you guys learned a thing or two about, the pro experience. If you did like this video, make sure to leave a like and comment below on what you think about my decision. Do you think it was worth it? Do you think it wasn't worth it? Do you think I should have gone for it for more than like 2 months and tried it out a bit? Maybe you don't agree on some points I made, so yeah, you can definitely bring up discussion with me in the comments below. I'll probably respond for the next 12 hours after I release this video. And again, thank you guys for watching this video, and I'll see you guys next time.
Go fast. Please go fast. Like, I'm begging you to go fast.